Welcome back, everybody. We will begin with the next chapter of the Pyro Club. Previously, we finished with the witnessing with the Grand Mistribe. Now, who knows? The new chapter will begin. Welcome. Hello.
Is it me
Hello?
you're looking for?
Hello.
We're live.
Oh God, I'm on TV.
Ah! Say hi, Mom.
No, I will not.
So am I doing the recap? Or do you not want me to do it?
Someone's doing the goddamn recap.
I got it all
Yeah.
ready to go here.
Damn it. What are we
Last
paying
time,
this bard for?
I know, right?
I need everyone to do like wavy hands, like woo, woo, and then we go previously on the Pyro Club.
Previously. So yeah, session recap. We did the whole witnessing stuff with the Grand Mistribe. We won because we're awesome. After that, after succeeding with the witnessing for the Grand Mistribe, we, the Misfits, and the Goliaths of the Grand Mistribe, celebrated, drank, sang, and danced until the morning came.
I only started 2 accidental fires.
Only. The next morning, we packed up our things, we said our goodbyes, and we left the Grand Mistribe and proceeded back down the mountain. The travel back down was less difficult than the trek up the mountain. Minchinos burned the rock nests that we passed for fun. He laughed, Navik laughed, the rock laughed. After escaping from the rock within the caves of the mountain, we came across some yak folk traveling up the mountain on a pilgrimage. We set up camp with them and chatted with them overnight. Minchinos brought out his Stephen the Magnificent act. Navik talked about our adventures with the tribes of the mountains, and we learned of easy passages back down the mountain from the yak folk. One such passage got Rosie really excited, and she begged and pleaded and even cried to go that direction. So, inevitably, we went that direction. Eventually, we made it to that spot where the yak folk told us about. It was a side of the mountain going down that wasn't a sheer cliff; it was kind of a slope. And next to that slope were planks of wood. Some were circular, some were rectangular. The yak folk told us to just plot them on the ground, sit on them, and push off. Navik, without even taking a thought as usual, just grabs one and dives off. Down he goes, whee! Rosie followed right after him. Caleb shrugged and went down. Michinos kind of was iffy, but went down with it, firing fireballs left, right, and center, burning trees. And Ithis kind of cursed under his breath and glided down on his wings because he's anti-fun.
The tough part was actually fitting those planks onto the tank legs, but it was worth it.
How did
Hey,
Digits go down?
I was going to say, you have to include Digits too. I mean, Digits went down the ice thing. He was fine. He was used to
Skis.
Oh, yeah.
It was skis.
After some bobs and weaves and bumps and bruises, we ended up at the bottom of the mountain, a half-day's walk from Belbuck, where we were greeted by wonderful halflings with cheers, food, dancing, and even more drinks. And that's where we start.
I did go and get another bottle of that scotch.
Which is now on the floor.
Is it on the ground now?
Yep, totally was. Fell right into my recycling bucket.
Is that the lore?
Yeah, sure. why
God
not?
damn. How much can you buy that? Honestly, how much can you buy that for in Boston? Is it cheaper?
No. The lore was... It was a gift, but it usually goes for about 120.
Okay, yeah, it's about the same.
I like how I do this wonderful recap, segue into the beginning of the game, and we talk about freaking alcohol.
It's Scotch time.
Yeah, it's Scotch time.
It's a normal night. Welcome
Well,
to the Pyro Club.
You are.
Well, I am
back
going
in
to the
Belbuck.
Belbuck. I'm going to the Belbuck Scotch Distillery.
Yeah, okay,
Absolutely.
I guess.
Which is part of our lore, and that's what the DM was
Yeah.
talking about.
And-
Smokewater Distillery.
And the great DM deities kind of stops and asks you, hey, how much does it cost?
See, the gods know who to come to for the good stuff.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
So yes, was that narration in Caleb's persona?
Yes.
All right. As Caleb says, you have descended back out of the Leviathan Mountains a 12-day journey. I think it's interesting that Navik would choose to partake in a ritual typically reserved for the dead to get back down the mountain. But, you know, let's not overanalyze it.
Yeah.
The Yakpo didn't say anything about that. It was just an easier way to get down, and I wasn't thinking about that.
I also like the idea that the Yak folk have literally just been like collecting all of the bodies that the Grand Mist tribe has been hurling down the mountain for the last like 100 years. All these sleighs and toboggans and things like that, they're just collecting them. So yes, you get
check
down.
on the bear. We have to check on the bear too.
Yeah.
I also have to try to get the Belbuck people to trade with a Great Ursa tribe.
Mm-hmm. Or at least you said you would.
Yeah. Well, I have to try to keep my promise.
I'm gonna say
Come on,
Minchino's
Minchinos,
is-
try to focus here.
I was gonna say his camera's drinking the scotch.
I couldn't even
I know.
focus. It's shy. It should just keep going.
Uh,
So yeah, it has been since trekking up the mountains. It has been 42 days since you guys have last stepped foot out of the mountains. It is the morning of the 7th of Suna, which is the first week of summer. Coming out of the Bleak Ridge Pass, you get the first scent of grasses and blooming peonies and fresh air as it kind of crests over the plains surrounding Belbuck. And yeah, you're more than welcome to spend as long as you would like here. This is home for Rosie. Obviously,
man, is it hot down here?
yeah.
I know, eh?
Yeah.
So, just to be clear, we don't have to go back up the mountains anytime soon, right?
He's gonna blow up
Nope,
the
no,
mountain.
we
You
don't
have-
have to go up.
You have
for-
10 years to
You have 10 years.
climb the top.
Okay, and it's beginning of summer, so I'm gonna take those extreme cold weather robes. I'm gonna make a nice fire pit out back, and I'm gonna burn those fucking things.
Okay. I was gonna say,
Honestly, we've also spent 40 days in them without really washing them, so they're just gonna go up like that.
Oh yeah,
I guess
suppose.
so, but yeah, okay.
Well, do
You
want
don't
know-
have to
them
do
around?
yours.
Bellbuck's
You don't
not
have
next
to-
to a lake or anything.
Yet.
It is.
Nor do we have a wagon. Or, I mean, I guess we only have one horse now because Dices may have
You have
probably
two.
I have a
Yep.
pony.
Hey, listen, don't
We have a
forget about
tank and a
Elmer.
baby bear,
Elmer the pony.
and Elmer. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking Dices' horse, which I think is now gone.
it is.
Well, we can just, if it's still there, we can take it. Since
it's not. In fact, the halflings have a great number of stories about a winged dragonborn coming down and collecting their things in the middle of the night.
Nice.
Oh.
I'm just here to collect.
Yeah.
I'm here to collect. I'm here to collect.
Okay.
All right, so Minchinos, you are setting fire to your elaborate cold weather clothes.
Well, that family with the kids that I had been staying with, we have a big bonfire and a party, and my
Deleted. All right, cool.
Goes up in a.
The other thing I want to do while we're here is go around, and I started to when we were here the first time, but didn't really get much time to do it. Talk to everybody in Belbuck and see if there's anybody that can help repair some of the tank, like blacksmiths and or any tinkers or anything like that.
Got it. Is anyone else stashing, selling, or setting ablaze their cold weather clothing?
What did we do with the Remora's stuff? Did we get rid of that already?
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're gonna take the head off of it and put it someplace like in the lake
We
because
didn't
it's
sell that
warm.
stuff.
It's warm down there now.
I said we should sell that stuff.
I know,
well,
right?
we were
we
up
did.
on the mountain.
That's right. You did say that. We were gonna try and figure out what to do with that. You're right.
You're trying to sell a Remora's head?
Well,
Is-
did we have two of them?
No, we only have the one head. We had some scales.
I have the
and meat.
teeth, or yeah, something like
yeah,
that.
you have the spines.
Right.
Oh yeah. Did you manage to affix that to your?
No, not yet.
They're just still smoldering in a bucket.
Yep.
Dangling
I'm just
off the
gonna-
side of digits.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go home. I'm gonna drop off my warm stuff, start packing up my stuff to hug my parents, say goodbye to my 38 siblings, go grab my pony. I'm like, I'm going on
Ooh.
an adventure!
38.
Yep, 38.
That's impressive.
It equals like 3.
Rosie, tell me about your parents.
Oh, I can talk about... No, never mind.
Talk about my parents. My mamas and the papas.
What is your mother's name?
I haven't given anybody names. yet.
Petunia Dandelion.
Yes, they all had flowers.
They're all flowers.
They're all flowers. They're all plants, not necessarily
Your father's
Father Hawthorne?
marshmallow. What is it, Buttercup?
No, I said Hawthorne.
That's a
No.
good name. That's a great name.
I guess it's a manly name. Is that a marshmallow?
Do you want your father's name to be
How
Marshmallow?
about Neff?
Do.
You have that power.
Neff.
His name is Marshmallow. I create that.
And he
Marshmallow.
calls himself
Dandelion.
Hawthorne on the side.
That's
Wow.
his name.
And I won't let you, or I won't ask you to name all n of your siblings.
No, 30-something names. Let's go.
Frank,
Not that bad. I
Frankie,
only got 18
Francis,
siblings.
Francica.
Mugwort.
There's Willow.
Poison Ivy.
Or just Ivy for short. It's all good.
So Marshmallow, and your mother's name is
Dandy. Oh no, first name's Dandelion. Like Dandelion,
Belladonna.
Dandelion.
Dandelion.
Dandelion, Dandelion.
What about Belladonna?
Belladonna, good one. It's Belladonna. I'm all for that.
This is why I have these apps, man.
Nightshade.
That's her brother.
Yeah,
That's
that's
her
one of my
stripper
brothers.
name.
We don't talk about him.
Oddly enough, he's a rogue.
Oddly.
Yeah.
All right. So your when you go and head home, obviously Belladonna is there at the door, fussing over you, asking you about the trip. Because don't forget, you also came back down the mountain with like 35 other halflings who had made the pilgrimage up to
Yeah.
watch the witnessing.
Oh,
so at
God,
one
so they
point
all
there was
took
just
down
a
the-
sled with 30 halflings on it, barreling down the mountain.
We said we take a snapshot going down like a roller coaster.
Oh god, we need fan art of this.
If we had fans.
If we had fans, oh.
I'm
This is where I
asking
put
both
my
of
fan
them.
art.
Ask both of them.
Those are good odds. So yeah, you're basically telling your family, that's it. I'm adventuring life for me.
I'm like, it's happened. My big chance has come. I've made friends. They're gonna take me on an adventure. I'm gonna learn all the things, and I'm gonna come back eventually.
What's your great? You pick grandmother or grandfather.
Grandfather.
What's your great grandfather's name?
His name is Marshweed.
Marshweed. Nice.
So teach you not to prepare a
I know, eh?
flashback.
Yay, flashbacks. It's gonna be in sepia tones and everything.
All right. Done.
Yeah, go Marshweed.
So before you go, your mother kind of scurries off into one of the lower, like basically the root cellar of your little home, and returns with a collection of leather-bound books.
Ooh.
And she puts them in your hands, and you are likely familiar with these. As they are the journals of one Marshweed Dandelion,
Yeah.
the most famous adventurer to ever have come out of Belbuck.
Love it.
That we know nothing about.
Well, we're not
Uh,
even there. We're busy drinking.
Fair enough.
I'm going to put this in everyone's thing, and there you go. So you can carry these from your home. Your mother puts them in your hands, and she says, "I need you to be safe out there, but I want you to look under every rock. I want you to touch every bird you see,
I thought they were breaking a song for a second there.
including
Hey,
the grumpy one outside.
Please no.
I was gonna say, if this.
Please no.
And I need you to
Remount.
complete the notes because the 10th journal is half empty.
I'll start
But the
right now.
information that Marshweed collected should see you through safely.
Excellent. Yeah. Danny's like, yeah, I'm so happy. Best day ever.
Your father is in the background pretending not to cry.
Aw. I'll hug him goodbye.
Marshmallow never gets weepy. Then you are mauled by 37 children.
Awesome.
And we cut over to
In a row?
Navik.
Well, once.
Navik, in the town square, or rather the Bellbuck Green in the center of town, you hear a commotion, and distinctly you hear the voice of the village elder, who you've met before. This is Elder Jam Coldwell. And Jam Coldwell is like in like a nightgown, rushing out into this big bed of tulips, and yelling, "Holga, get your blasted beast out of my tulips!" He's got like a big rolled up parchment, and she's like running into these flowers that are almost as tall as he is. And suddenly you see the lankiest, scrawniest looking bear you've ever laid eyes on kind of roll out of this tulip patch, half of the tulips in its face, like just in its mouth, and then it goes scampering off in the most awkward gait you've ever seen over to Holga and Tap's Mountaineering Company.
All right, I'm going to go over to the bear and give it some rations.
What did we name it? I don't remember what we named it.
I don't remember what we named it either. So
It is now Winnie.
So your new necklace has a unique feature.
yes,
Ooh. Also, its name is Winnie the Two.
We need the
Winnie
two.
the Two.
I feel this is a curse theme going here that we should not impose on this bear.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's no harpies here.
Now that you said it, in fly.
Just
Yeah.
one on the back of Epic.
Yeah, you turn around and just on the back.
Yeah, there's still one harpy stuck there all this time.
Even like
Where
I
did
guess
that come from?
But yeah, the investiture of Great Ursa, which is part of your talisman of the Hordebreaker, basically means that bears in general, unless you are hostile towards them, regard you as family. And so as soon as you approach this bear, it comes sort of barreling over to you, and just kind of like presses its head into your thigh and just like waits for scritches.
Yep.
Tulips falling out of its mouth. And you hear Holga coming out of the really rushing out under fear of what Elder Jam Coldwell will do now that the bear has once again been caught in the flower beds. Holga comes rushing over. He's like, "You've returned. Welcome home."
We have returned.
I've heard the news already. Congratulations.
How the hell did you hear that already?
The halflings don't waste any time with stories.
You were talking about like halfway down the mountain, they're already shouting it. Come on, guys!
Oh yes, that. Well, doesn't matter. It has happened, and we win,
Good.
and we're back.
You've brought great honor to our tribe.
Speaking of tribes, for Great Ursa was very helpful to us on the during the witnessing. I think trading with them would be great benefit to you.
What do they wish to trade?
Potions, herbs, policies?
It sounds interesting.
I don't know.
Like,
Policies?
so just trade of herbs and potions.
And other things that they
Great.
might want.
I like things.
Yes, things are good.
All right. Well, who do I talk to?
Dun, dun, dun.
See- Jordan's face lights up as he opens up a word pad.
I'm not looking up notes at all. I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't see any note here, so the
What about your father, dude? Thing?
no,
Why not?
it wouldn't be it wouldn't be my father. He's not from Great Ursa.
Oh, Great Ursa.
Mammoth.
Yeah, Mammoth.
Mammoth.
Nice job, guys.
Yes, thank you.
See, I didn't have to change my lighting arrangement to check notes.
He uses the dark theme on Notepad++.
Yeah, this is
I actually do that.
Roll20. This is the Roll20 website right here. That's why it's so bright.
Sure.
Got it.
Anyways, Mammoth.
All right. I'll look into it. It's unusual. I'm surprised they want to deal with the lowlanders, but could be profitable for everyone.
I agree.
I see you have met Tulip.
Yes. Tulip.
She's an odd
Bear?
one. Yeah, the bear.
The bear.
Calling him Tulip?
Her Tulip. She's between you and me. She's not a very good bear. Like, she's
I'm so proud
very
of her.
sweet.
She's
So
a
proud.
great bear.
But as far as bear things go, she does not meet expectations. First of all, she refuses to eat meat. She will not hunt, so it's just vegetables. She's also a coward. But great nose, can sniff things out. We take her on hikes, not hunting hikes, because she tries to defend the things we try to hunt. But yeah, that's Tulip.
Oh. What does she find?
When she's like sniffing around.
Don't say truffles. Don't say truffles. Don't
Total
say
truffles.
Truffles.
If truffles grew around here, she would probably find them.
Yeah.
Maybe tubers.
Do you want to keep her here? We were planning to travel with her.
She might be a bit of a liability if you were to bring her. I won't stop you. We've come to like her. She's a sweet bear,
Huh.
but she's more like a tiny dog.
Wait, how big do your dogs get?
Well, she's not. She's very large, but behaviorally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Is Caleb with me right now?
Am I?
I don't know. Are you?
I think at this
Sure.
point we probably are.
Oh, Caleb.
Yeah.
You think Maggie would want a pet?
Pet bear.
She could totally ride that bear.
Maybe get a little saddle for it on the way back.
Oh, perfect.
I mean, I guess so, but it wouldn't, like, it literally
As an
worse
aside, where did we leave her? She's back in Bremwick, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's in Bremick with
my cousin.
Silas?
Right.
Sassel.
That's
Sassel.
Silas is someone else, I think.
Silas is the bad guy from the Da Vinci Code.
If we go
If
that
you
way,
say
sure.
so.
What are the odds that Dice has left the deed behind?
That's what we were
yes.
talking about. But anyways,
Did
Yeah. Sorry,
Dices
that was an
come
aside.
Dices is thorough with her own belongings. She's like, I will take all of this.
Of course she did.
Guys.
Yeah, our tax is gone. The wagon is still there, although I think it was rifled through.
great. Yeah, she'd probably be happy with the bear, but from the sounds of it, it's not a very useful bear.
Exactly. It's a great pet.
Yeah. I don't think she'd be using it for anything, really.
I mean, it's not the fact of her using it; it's more the fact of it defending her, which it won't do.
Are we going back to Bremwick?
Are
I
we
don't know.
heading up that way?
I was
Well,
kind
come
of,
on, guys.
I was kind of hoping to head more towards Lumericad to go meet up with our short friend we met in the mountains.
I'll go anywhere you guys go.
Well, if we
That's
go
only
up
slightly
to...
creepy, but cool.
Oh yeah, there is a route to Lumericad from here.
Yeah.
It is a little out of the way.
I mean, it's a hike.
Yeah, and again, one of the things, this is Minchino's knowledge, because you've been to Lumericad before. You could traverse through the jungle. It is not recommended. There is a ship that runs between Loop and Pompo.
Yeah.
That is brings you much closer and is a much safer trip.
Which is the way I would have gone with.
Exactly,
So-
yeah.
I've always wanted to take a boat. Are we taking a boat? I do love a boat.
No, we don't hear this, so no boat for you.
What are you guys talking about? All right. Anyway.
Get out of my inner monologue.
Regardless,
Oh, that was my outside voice again.
depending which way we go, it may take a while before the bear even makes it back to Brimwick. So,
True. And
I
Although
mean,
we can go to Bremwick and then take the north road by the sanctuary's peaks, so that's fine.
it's a huge
well, we
loop
also
around.
should go. Yeah, but we
But
have
that's
to.
so to get to Lumer, and I'll tell everybody to get to Lumericad, the best way to go is the ship from Loop, and the north road around Sanctuary Peaks is one of the easiest ways to get to Loop and avoid the jungle.
To the jungle.
What I was going to say, we need to give some more money to Cecil. I wasn't really paying attention.
Sassel.
Sassel.
Cecil?
We should also find out what's going on with our shop in Fox Run.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Oh wait, I wouldn't know about that.
No, you would.
Neither would I.
Well,
Well,
you
No,
would
you
know.
would. You
I
were
would
pro-
know about it, but I wasn't.
No, you
invested
weren't there
in
for it.
You
Right.
weren't there for its founding, no.
Right. Oh, that means we have an extra share now that one of our partners is a pile of ash.
You mean we have more share
Equity.
percentages?
We have a higher equity stake.
Yes.
Dices is gone too.
Fair enough.
Technically, she's.
So is
still
Garrett.
alive.
So I mean, technically, it's only Minchinos and I.
The thing is, keep in mind, Dices is still alive, so don't try to, stint her on her share. It makes you come
Nope,
back.
too
and
bad.
smoke-
Written out. Done.
Oh, she's gonna smoke your ass.
What in this kingdom? What is the period of being missing before you're just declared dead? Like, a couple of days, right?
At least 3 hours. Then
All right, but I think
this place
I think-
doesn't have great record keeping, so they usually wait a while.
So should we head up toward up the river back to Bremwick? Maybe stop by Fox Run and go from there.
Sure.
No,
Sounds
do we
good.
want to bring the bear with?
I mean, well, if we're
No, it's
going
up
to
to you
Bremwick,
guys.
we may as well, right? Maybe on the way we can teach it to be actual useful-ish, maybe?
Navik's gonna try to teach a baby bear. All right. It's
Yeah,
fun.
yeah.
I mean,
I
out
am
of character, I find it
thoroughly invested
hilarious,
in
but
this.
Well, I'm gonna try and teach the baby bear and Boo.
Teach
this is-
Boo to
I
look
was-
like a baby bear.
Oh God. Well, down the mountain, I was teaching Boo tricks. That's all I'm gonna say.
question: does Boo age?
I don't know the physiology of a mimic.
I mean, you gave it as a baby mimic, so I'm assuming
Yeah.
it would grow.
Eventually, I assume it gets bigger. I'm under the impression that the way in which it gets bigger is by consuming man flesh.
Oh,
That sounds very sexy. It consumes
Yavik is now a
man
eunuch.
flesh.
We're gonna turn into Little Shop of Horrors with Boo.
Yeah.
Feed me, Seymour.
whenever
Audrey
we
too.
kill something, we can just give Boo the remnants.
Does Boo like slightly rancid remoras?
That's a
So-
good question.
So first of all, if you're going to be trying to teach Boo tricks down the mountain, I'm going to need you to make me 3 animal handling checks. Okay,
Over to the map.
great, love it.
Hey, they got better.
They did. You got better.
So, Boo has been on your head for over a year.
It's seen some shit.
I can count the number of times you have actively interacted with Boo on one hand.
Aww.
What you first of all, it has 3 known forms that you have managed to teach it in the past. Do you remember what they are?
The actual
do.
mimic.
Yeah.
The loincloth. And the
Mhm.
hat.
Not the loincloth.
Was it-
Close though.
It was a belt. Right.
Yeah.
It was a belt, right? And its native boot form that you found it in, and the mining hat that you can put a torch into.
Oh man.
These are the forms that Boo understands.
Oh, Boo.
Here's Boo, by the way.
Aw, Boo!
So cute.
Oh my god.
Yay, Boo!
I just got a
Um,
little cute overload.
One of the things with those roles that you have been able to learn on the way down the mountain is that Boo is obsessed with trying to steal your potions.
Oh no.
Has not successfully done so,
Oh.
but is really trying. In fact, anytime you try and handle a potion with Boo on your person, Boo will try to steal it.
All right.
Yeah.
Is Boo interested in beads at all?
It hasn't tried to steal any
Oh,
of the
okay.
fireball.
I wasn't speaking about those beads.
I
see.
I heard beads and I went, oh,
I
somewhere
opted for the
else.
safe inference, but
That's fine.
I
Which
just
is
picture
really
him with
awesome.
the hard hat, and all of a sudden, Boo just goes.
Boo suddenly decides to mimic one of those beer drinking hats and as a lure.
So yeah, you guys are having a conversation basically outside of Holga on Taps.
Yeah, about the bear and going back.
Elder Jam Coldwell will approach and hand Caleb a sealed letter. And he says, Mr. Caleb, this came for you while you were up in the mountain. And when he hands you the letter, there's a wax seal on it that has clearly been broken already.
Lovely.
But it's been like really crudely attempted to be melted back into some order, like some shape that, yeah.
I'll go. Who is it from, and why was it opened?
I don't know what you're talking about. Obviously, it came by a courier.
It's tiny.
No.
Nice. Yeah, you're like, okay.
It came by a courier. You believe this?
Apparently. Okay.
I'm taking him aside later to try and teach him.
Oh, you're gonna teach me stuff, eh?
No, the mayor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Elder Jam basically breaks and goes, I can't lie. I opened it. I couldn't read it, though. It's in weird letters.
Well, thank you for your honesty, but you know better than to look in people's mail.
I do, and I do it every time.
I'll take it and put it in my pouch for now.
Okay.
All right. So want to still hit the distillery, and I did want to try and find a tinker. I don't know what the ruling is on that.
Right. So, can you, with advantage,
Okay.
make me a? You're basically gathering information.
Yeah.
So you can do investigation if you want.
Okay.
Alternatively, you can just carouse basically and sort of drum up information with persuasion.
Oh. Yes, which one I'll choose?
The kind of information you're going to get will differ, but
No.
I have advantage.
the folks in the Smokewater distillery, who you are getting to be on first name basis with.
God
You
damn,
are-
real life and this are
Yeah.
converging.
You are sitting around their cigar room, sampling spirits, telling jokes, anecdotes, stories, and things like that from heading up in the mountain. And Fen Silt Skipper, who you've met before.
I am, as a point of order, I am specifically not using any of my fire effects to embellish my stories
Okay.
in a distillery.
Yeah.
Not that much of an.
Yeah, Fen Silt Skipper it basically says, well, I'll tell you what. I don't know a whole lot about them gadgets you got roaming around outside with the little clinky clanks. But I'll tell you who might. Have you ever been to the island of Clinker and Cog?
I have not. I have heard of it, but I've never been.
If I were to find an artificer who could handle such a strange contraption as you have, I might start there. Alternatively, there is an Artificer's Academy in Lumiere Acad, and certainly you could find somebody there.
Right.
One thing that you do, and actually this is common knowledge, Clinker and Cog are two gnomish towns that have split. They are enemies now, but when they were one town, they developed and produced the first airship that this world ever saw. They produced 4, and then they got in a fight and split, and none have ever been produced since.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Good to know. What's in that barrel over there?
Well, put this on. He hands a blindfold over to you.
Why not? I'll put on a blindfold.
And fade to black.
He's an exhibitionist. It's all good.
Hang on, I'm looking up a name.
Right back just a second.
Is it Willow?
Willow. No.
Daisy? Sunflower?
Sumac.
Buttercup.
You definitely have to have a cousin named Sumac.
Sumac.
You do.
Swamp grass.
I mean, you've got plenty of names. You can just go down the list. You can basically open up a field guide and just start.
That's the best part.
And so since it's been a while, Caleb,
Yes.
do you remember what the red arrows on the map represent?
Yep.
Okay. The note that you were handed is written in Dwarven.
Yep.
And it is from Mitchell Huntley, who is sort of one of your followers that you recruited in Greens Cross. They were basically acting as the sheriff of Greens Cross. In so many words, and they kind of like you're a soldier, so you're able to sort of like understand the sort of subtle shift in language, and they're not outright saying, "Hey, here's the new information," but you're able to pick up on it.
Okay.
There are tier Inquisition bastions all throughout the Ceresian Steppes now. One of which is in Greens Cross itself. One is in Kendrick Hill. And then the other two are north of Bremwick in Bleakburn and Fox Run.
Fun.
The final sort of sign off in the letter basically says that it is no longer safe for them to operate in the area, and that they are heading to Remodina.
I was gonna say, yeah.
And they don't know your other follower yet, who is operating in Adiaco, who is Clementina Caivano.
Yeah. I'll probably see if I can somehow send a message to her and see if she can start heading up that way.
Sure, yeah.
Well, aren't we heading up that way?
Yeah, but I mean, look how far we have to go.
It's not that far.
I'll mention that we're heading up that way, and if she wants to wait, she can, but it's getting less safe and safe, so...
Is the sending spell in the paladin or cleric spell list?
I don't think so.
Cleric does have it.
Well, then I can use it.
I have a sending stone.
Yeah, it's level 3. Yeah, you have a single sending stone that you don't know it's matched to. You can talk into it if you want.
It's called
Yeah, I'm
sending.
good right now.
Do you know that that's what that is?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah,
Would
so
I talk into a stone anyways? It's possible.
Yeah, I mean, that is actually a very good point.
it is shaped like a little face.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely I would talk into it then.
Have you been talking into it for weeks?
I've been telling the adventures on the mountain.
Okay, give me a second. I have to take a note.
That's never good. We're screwed.
Oh, this won't come back to haunt us at all.
Nope, not at all. We'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything's fine.
You shouldn't have told me that.
Okay. So Caleb, if you want, you can ask if this would be willing to send that message for you.
Sure, I will
I am.
find where he is, yeah.
Actually, does Ithis need to have known who this person is
I
for
need
that
to be
work?
familiar with it, but for example, it says the creature recognizes you as the sender if it knows you. So I feel like it's just someone that I know about and not someone that I know.
He was around when we were dealing with her, though. I believe.
That's true. You did. Yes, you did enter her apartment when you were running away from.
Yeah.
The Inquisitors. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you know of her.
All right.
So a 25-word or less message
Yes. Let me prepare it real quick.
to Clementina Caivano. And what are you saying?
Basically, we are heading back to Adiaco, be there in X amount of days. It's no longer safe. Head to Remodina.
All right.
That might be more than 25 words, but I don't know.
It's about 16 or so. I was trying to take account.
My thanks, accountant.
I don't know what to. I'm not going to use it after this. I'm not going to bother preparing.
We use sending in our other campaign, so I got used to making those numbers.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's about a week trip from Belbuck to Adiaco.
Sounds good to me.
Right.
Let us get underway.
And we don't have a boat this time, right? So we have to take the road.
I think, didn't we leave the boat at Adiaco anyways?
Well, we had
did.
taken a ferry down the river to the last curve.
Oh,
we
that's right.
We can take the wagon all the way back. It's fine.
Did we?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that.
The one
Yeah,
that
we
we got
had-
attacked.
You can always rent another boat
Yeah.
when you get to Diaco as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was the plan for that.
Just want to know, did anyone see me talking to the stone?
That was actually a question I was going to ask.
Maybe.
Were you able to distinguish between Navik's
I did not. I just didn't care.
normal sort of self-babble?
Well, the question is that was he telling the stories in common?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is a good question.
So that's the thing.
Right? Hang on, let me append it too.
Like if it wasn't Giant, I'd be like, he's just rambling on to himself. Or he's talking to Boo, for all I know.
It's talking in giant. I may have switched between the two at the same time. So half in giant, half in common.
Well, my thing was if I had seen it, would I have been able to taken a look at the thing and been able to recognize it? But I apparently just didn't notice. It was just like Navik being Navik.
Yeah, his bag is so filled with junk that it's hard to
Yeah.
it's hard to keep track of it.
I need to sell that Yeti fur patches. It's good size for halflings.
Actually, instead of throwing the skull away, is there somebody in Bellbuck that would want to cure it and have a trophy skull?
You certainly the I guess it may not be bone, but it might be like some sort of like keratin.
Yeah.
That might be an interesting trophy to somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll offer it
Actually, hang on.
because it should be worth something anyway.
Just go ahead and roll me a D100.
Oh God.
It comes alive.
Hey.
Hey, holy shit! All right. So I think Tap of Holga and Tap takes note of it and says, "Is that what I think it is?"
It's the head of one of those big, the hot lizard, Ramoras.
Yeah.
Yeah, we fought a few of them up on the mountain.
A few of them,
Yeah, there was like 5 or 6.
and nobody was swallowed whole.
I didn't say that, but we got them out.
It's like that's quite the trophy you have there.
Yeah, we should totally try and get my bird friend drunk. Doesn't drink, but we should try it and have him tell you the story of getting swallowed.
Your bird friend was swallowed.
Yeah,
That doesn't surprise
me. Yeah, it was pretty great.
Yeah, I would like to purchase your Remora's skull.
I mean, it is a pretty good trophy, and it fits well on my tank. But you guys have shown me some great hospitality, so make me an offer.
All right. Can I interest you in some cold weather clothing?
Mm,
Oh,
No.
there goes Victor.
no, you may not.
Oh no, Victor.
Oh no!
He was swallowed
Yes.
whole by
He was
Remoras.
swallowed again. Yep.
Oh no.
Oh, good, I fixed it.
Cool.
Although if he comes back, I have to switch back again.
Hey, they're at the right place this time too.
You're welcome.
We could also negotiate about some of your finer product.
Yes. Oh, food. You're traveling again. I could supply you with rations for your travels.
Okay. Let's start there. I mean, this is a pretty impressive trophy, and you know what? It would look pretty badass as part of your business.
It would. Silk rope. 100 feet of it.
Ooh. All right, so let's do this. How about some rations, some silk rope, and a barrel of that really, really good. I forget what they actually called the whiskey.
The smoke water.
Yeah.
A barrel. Well, I don't actually have a barrel of it, but I do have some of the Grand Mist Mountains milk.
Oh, really?
Well, yes, it's our tribe drink.
Well then,
Oh, you don't want that mountain milk.
No. Nor do we want the Last Jedi Mountain. You know what? I think we can come to a nice agreement here.
Okay.
Some good rations to get us up to at least Adiaco. Yeah, I think we could definitely use some good rope, and a good supply of mountain milk.
Done.
Excellent.
Do you hand over the head, or do you just say off you go?
I can't pick up the head. I'm nowhere near strong enough.
Right.
But I'll give them a little. I'll give them a little help. Even better, I'll go over to the tank and I will cast animate object on the tank and have the tank walk over to him, bend over, and offer the head to him.
All right. Tap will sort of like grab one of the spines on it and go, "Ooh, it's still warm."
Yeah, it's great,
and then
isn't it?
Sort of readjust position and drag it into the mountaineering company. And then you hear some clanging around in the background, and Tap comes back with 2 50-foot spools of silk rope.
Mm-hmm. Into the tank. The tank turns around and presents to put it in.
So 2 50-foot silk rope, a travel barrel. So I think I've been over this with you guys before, right? Hang on.
It's like a pony keg, isn't it?
Yeah, rather than having to do like daily calculations, we basically just take like a bulk price for the trip distance. So a 7-day journey for 5 players requires 350 pounds of carrying space and costs.
I roll 20 cash.
Okay.
Right, they're 15 gold each typically, so they'll give you 2 of these barrels, so that'll give you 10 days.
All right.
Which should be more than enough to get to Adiaco.
I think so.
And
the tank can carry it enough till I bring it back over to Digits and we can share it around.
Yeah, and they also like hand you 2 growlers of mountain milk.
Yeah. And those go right in the tank. Underneath one of the seats where it's out of the way.
Is there room underneath the seats? I didn't think it was that big.
It's not, but
no, but there is 2 seats, so one of them is now occupied.
It's not an open container if the straw isn't in it. New Orleans rules.
All right, perfect. All right, trade successful. There is now a Remoraz skull on the wall of the Mountaineering Co.
Excellent.
So your wagon and Elmer are sort of like well taken care of. A quick perusal suggests that there isn't anything obviously missing from the wagon after Dices came through town.
She's a jerk.
Are we actually informed that somebody came looking through the wagon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to ask
Yeah.
Yeah, they let you know that Dices came by, collected our tax, and then flew off into the night.
Carrying
With
a
the
she
horse.
drop it?
Yes,
Did
carrying.
she drop anything?
No, not to their knowledge.
Can I actually fully investigate the wagon for anything missing?
Yes.
Everything looks fine.
If anything, you might think that there's more in this wagon now. Like she may have left you some things.
Oh, I'm curious to see.
What a sweetheart.
Oh,
I mean, the tulip turds don't count.
I want that on a shirt.
Tulip
Take it.
turds don't count. More fan art.
Yeah. So the wagon appears in
is it good condition?
yep,
Still?
perfect condition. Digits and Elmer can be sort of hitched up to it.
A bit lopsided, but it works.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter.
Anything else you would like to do in the small town of Belbuck before you head out?
Just want to sell the Yeti patches, fur patches.
Sure, yeah, you can sell that to Holga and Tap easily. I forget. It's a 10-pound patch you have, right?
I think so. Yeah, they're 10 pounds.
All right. Holga will give you 75 gold for it.
Sounds good.
I will remove that from your inventory and add 75 gold.
And I'm gonna leave the Yak Folk sculpture with the kids that I stayed with.
Okay.
I also have the Yeti horns. I'm looking at the inventory. Do we want to sell those too?
Well, you might as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless you want to use them.
I
Those
wasn't
are
able
the
to
spines, right?
I wasn't able to attach them to the tank though at the time. That's why I just have them loose in my inventory. It says Yeti horns.
Oh, Yeti horns. Sorry. Got it. Yeah, you can sell those as well for 10 gold each.
Okay.
How about that brass mug of jade with jade?
The brass mug with jade inlay. Yeah, so that one's because that one is a higher price. It is less likely that you will get full price in a little town like Belbuck.
Okay.
So if you're willing to take a loss, you can sell it here. If you just want the cash, or you can bring it to a bigger city.
I'm good.
I do want to get some pipe weed too while we're here.
Easy enough.
Yep. Because now I have my mahogany pipe.
I'll do the same.
Get that back.
All right.
Some road smoking.
And I take it from doing the Hunger Games that we didn't keep any of our weapons or items. They're all gone.
All your magical
Yeah,
weapons are
the
gone.
special ones.
The ethereal spirit weapons and things like that are gone, yes.
No more +3 bow for you.
Meh. But Navix still has all his javelins.
It's all that
Do I?
matters.
Do I still have my
Why
javelins?
not?
Nope.
Nope.
I mean, if you wanted to purchase javelins before you left, you can.
That's not the same.
No. I mean, do you want to be able to keep a couple of witnessing javelins?
Did we get the one out of
Do we
Yeah,
get to keep the
drowning
porcupine?
guy? The drowning
want-
guy there?
You can pull 1d4 plus 1 javelins out of one cold night and keep them as a souvenir.
The winning javelin.
Plus 1.
I get 2.
Oh, yeah.
All right, you have 2 legendary amongst the Grand Mist javelins. that felled one cold night.
Excellent.
Caleb and Minchino.
Yes.
So Caleb, you don't have a pipe, do you?
I thought I did. I had a dragon one before.
Dragon pipe?
I remember I had a dragon like carved pipe back when we were in the area with the guy that's
Yeah.
not Kane.
Yeah, ages ago.
Okay. I must have lost track of that. I know Minchinos was given one for Christmas or the Midwinter Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The non-denominational
Yeah.
festival of cold time outside.
Yeah.
Of a mahogany pipe and some
Right.
fancy herb.
Which I would have smoked that by now, so I have to refill. It's been like 6 months. Of course I would have had it.
It's true.
All right, and we can ditch the Eddie horn too. Are you doing the inventory stuff, Liam? Or...
Yeah, I'm just updating
Okay.
it on my other sheet, but feel free to update your character sheets.
Well, no, I'm looking at the spreadsheet.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I'll let you deal with the deletions and things.
So I'm just going to add this as Bellbuck pipeweed.
Cool. Cool.
It weighs nothing. And you have... How many uses of it do you want to get?
We got a week, right? I'm gonna get a good sized pouch.
Good size baggy.
Okay.
Yeah, get a Z.
So I'll put quantity 10 for each of you, which
Okay.
would be 5 gold each.
All right, done and done. Because I'm getting 25 back from the Eddie horns. You say 5 or 10?
For the Yeti horns, they're 10
Okay, so
plus 20.
because there's 5. Yeah. No, one of those. Sorry. Okay.
Okay, perfect. And Caleb will... I'll just add pipe to your sort of other storage inventory, but...
Yeah, sure.
Perfect.
Excellent.
You've got rations.
We got
Huzzah.
rations.
You've got pipeweed. You've got mountain milk. You've got
I've got some
smoke
mountain
water.
milk.
Yeah, that's true. Minchinos
Better
has
be
some
blue.
mountain milk.
Actually, the mountain milk I would share before the Bellbuck smoke water.
Noted.
It's the good shit. Of course, I'm gonna be reluctant on that. I know you've just met me, but oh,
Getting the impression.
Rosie, I have the best inn to show you when we get back to Adiaco.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
okay. What kind of inn is it?
Oh, it's whatever you want it to be.
Really? Anything?
Anything. Oh, yep. I have to leave some of it as a surprise, but you are gonna love this.
Oh, I hope they have bunk beds. I really like bunk beds.
They can accommodate that.
I like to be on top.
That can
also
easily be
accommodate-
arranged.
Yeah.
Top bunk's always the best. It's so much fun. I always have to fight with my 14 siblings about it, but we work it out.
Yep. And with a little bit of enchantment and like a little elevator could be power top, it's gonna be great.
Oh, that's so cool.
So how long do you plan on staying in Bellbuck before you leave? I've got you there for at least one night.
Yeah, one night.
One night only?
One night only.
We would have had a couple if Rosie's saying goodbye to her family, and I'm taking Caleb over to get him drunk at the Scotch at the Bellbuck distillery there.
If you
Yeah.
must.
He must.
Okay, so if you have a look at the calendar on the map, it's currently the 7th when you arrive. When do you want to leave?
The 9th.
Yeah, sure.
Leave on the 9th? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, then last requests, Minchinos.
Just like I said, I'm leaving little kids.
Oh yeah.
Thinking, the Yak Folk sculpture. I was gonna leave
Mhm.
that with the family that I stayed with. I've got the pipe weed. I've got the other stuff, and it's the night before we leave. I'll do a Stephen the Magnificent type thing where Rosie and I tell the story of the witnessing.
Nice.
And I'll do fireworks and fire sculptures to portray it.
There's gonna be bagpipes.
And we'll have bagpipes.
Yes. Pull up my bagpipes.
Rosie, do you want to put the finishing touches on the witnessing story?
Oh, for the final chapter?
Yeah.
What was the final chapter going to be called?
One cold night.
One cold
night.
very wet night.
One damp night.
One moist night.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
Young
There you
adult.
go.
Yes, there we go. Excellent. One moist night.
All right. And go ahead and give me a performance check.
Okay.
Is this for both of us or just Rosie?
I will give Rosie advantage on this because
Okay.
it's sort of like an improvised last
Yep.
chapter that she's.
Okay, that's cool.
One moist night. Bet you thought this book was about you. All right.
And our viewer counter goes down.
Or up, depending.
No, it did. It went down one.
Oh,
We
we're
lost
scared
somebody
away.
with moist.
Oh, we just say moist over and over again. We'll see what way it goes.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
It's A/B testing.
Yeah.
And
All right,
then
so
we're
with
off.
that completed, all you need to do, Rosie, is find somebody willing to publish it.
Sweet. Hopefully, at the next town we go to, she'll go hunting.
You guys pile up into the prairie schooner that you purchased in Adiaco.
That's right.
Elmer and Digits start their way through the town. Once again, all of the field hands and farmers and things like that come rushing out and line the roads, offering you drink and food and bread as you, as is customary when a guest leaves Spellbuck. And there's music and fiddle playing and dancing and singing and a very tearful Marshmallow and Belladonna and like 46 kids.
Yeah.
And you guys crest over the last hill, leaving only the scent of the Smokewater Distillery in your minds.
As we go over the hill and we're out of line of sight, I will throw a fireball into the air as far as I can and have it explode
Yeah, you hear.
dramatically.
Yeah, you hear the crowd sort of basically with every last bit of air that you can fill into a little halfling's lung. These little voices come cheering over the edge of the rise.
And Rosie rides her majestic steed, Sam, the Shetland pony.
Oh
Nice.
yeah, we forgot about
Don't forget Sam.
Stam, the Shetland pony.
Sam, my very fluffy pony. You can't even see, just hair.
Yes.
Mhm.
Going.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm like.
How tall do Shetland ponies?
Like
They're pretty squat looking, aren't they?
they're like
Yeah.
waist height at most. Keep
They're
in
the
mind,
wiener dogs of the horse world.
Do
keep
you
in mind,
not
I'm
watch
only
Parks and Rec?
Oh.
3 foot 2 inches tall. Okay, so for me, it's a pretty big horse.
All right, done. I'll have to add that to the.
And remind me, did the tank fit? Did we have the tank in the wagon, or was it just running?
I
think
think
it
it's
was
running
running.
along
Yep.
behind you because otherwise somebody else has to get out.
That's cool. I'll just ride in the tank then.
Yeah, the good news is that Rosie weighs a lot less than Dices did.
It's true.
Okay.
I weigh a whopping 40 pounds.
Yeah. So I would like 5 rolls, one from each of you.
Okay.
You can. This is basically. Is anyone familiar with skill challenges?
Mhm.
So, to make this trip as smooth as possible, you can choose a skill in which you are proficient in that you would like to utilize on your journey to either speed up travel, reduce the risk of random encounter, things like that.
Okay.
And we will start with the person driving the wagon, which would be Caleb, I think. You're the only one with vehicle
Probably.
proficiency, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it was you.
So what would I roll? I guess I have to describe what I'm doing to kind of avoid.
Yeah, so you can choose basically any skill as long as you've got a plausible use of it along the way.
Athletics.
What am I doing with
If you want to get out and push.
yeah, mule.
Yeah.
You cleared
Rosie's
brush.
pony gets tired and can't carry her anymore, so you carry the pony and Rosie.
um,
Totally
So,
plausible.
so obvious skill checks would be things like survival for navigation and animal handling for the horses. But if you want to get creative, by all means.
If I must.
Oh my.
You can also use tool proficiencies if you think those would be useful.
Oh, he's gonna use his tool.
Is he proficient though?
I am
I think you might be. I forget what though. Are you proficient in Mason's tools?
in Smith's tools. Yeah,
Yeah, no, you lost him. You lost it. Yep, he didn't.
we lost the DM. But I was there. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm there. I'm just like stay on target. Stay on target.
Yep. I mean, we can continue this
Someone
joke that way too. But anyways,
Yeah. No, that's fine.
yeah, I'll roll the Smith's tools to kind of keep the wagon in like tip-top shape.
Absolutely, that's perfect. And reshoe horses as you need.
I think we're good.
Beauty. Okay.
Nice.
All right. Who's next?
All right. As part of my schooling that my family made me go through, I did learn a lot about the geography and the history of the area and that and what creatures might be around here. So I'm going to sort of keep a watch out and do that to try and stay ahead.
Beauty. Oh shit.
Nice.
I am really good at history.
All right. So yeah, knowing what season it is and stories of like gnoll attacks in the areas and they've sort of been passed on. You're sort of like, it's sort of like if you were an adventurer going into like a bog or something, being able to like pick out a will-o-wisp or something like that, just based on stories that you've heard, is basically what Minchino's is doing. Perfect. Someone else.
I'll go. Since it's been so quiet recently, I am going to be playing my flute and don't care about getting anything.
Oh, God.
getting
Which
in trouble.
flute? You're playing your flute.
Yeah. I'm playing.
Musical instrument. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Just in a quiet corner of the wagon for 7 days straight.
It's the Leviathan tune.
How? Oh my
I know what
God.
he's playing. It's a small world after all. It's a small world.
As long as it's not the Chocobo theme, actually. From
Very
Seven.
perfect. That's almost as good, yeah.
All right.
I know Rosie is going to be just looking out for divots in the road, fallen trees, anything that could be, causing possible hindrances to the group. Just like
dangers on the road and the travel.
Yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
perception.
Mhm.
Oh, 29 in the wrong spot.
Yeah, and for the other people, Ash is
I don't see
whispering
her rolling.
rolls to me.
Okay.
There's something toggled on your
Oh,
character
what's
sheet that's-
toggle? Weird. It just
Um,
says. Where do I undo that?
It's in the settings, actually.
How did I hold on?
Yeah, she rolled a 17 and a 29.
Where? Hold on. I've never done that before. I haven't touched anything. Holy moly!
Go on the cog,
Yeah, I'm at the cog.
the
And
third row, no, third column, and second row. Whisper rolls to
It
GM.
would help if I was actually unmuted. Should I put on some battle music while we're doing this troubleshooting?
Yeah, really.
Well, you know we got. I'll fix it. Just
Okay, cool.
You wanna
Well,
fix
it's
I'm fine with it.
Well, it's,
I believe her.
doesn't believe.
So the last skill check from Ithis. Ithis, what are you doing to make the journey to Adiaco easier, or running more smooth, or keeping your allies in good spirits? Probably not the latter.
Yeah, no. Let me think.
He's flying very high up, making our spirits better.
He might actually be using basically using his he's flying to basically I can't speak. I'm like half asleep at this point. He's using his flying to scout and keep an eye out for anything potentially dangerous, or just really kind of making sure we're going the right way. And also keep an eye on the weather, because if the weather gets bad, because you can't, I don't know.
So if you want, you can do an insight check. Typically on skill challenges, we will only hit one skill, no more than once. But you could have provided advantage to Dandelion's roll if you want.
Yeah, I can't think of anything this really can do. So
Well, no, those things are good. It's just you can choose. Do you want to give Rosie advantage, or do you want to do your insight check there?
I'll give Rosie advantage, I guess.
Okay, so then she'll take her 29.
Yeah,
All right, then.
I'm so helpful. Yay, Rosie the useful.
So what does it look like when Rosie and Ithis are working together?
Pure harmony, just like
It's
natural
just-
made tea.
It's like a weird unspoken connection.
it's
Yeah,
like
we
the
would-
cartoon with the small dog and the big dog, and the small dog's hopping around, and the big dog's like ignoring
Hey,
it.
Spike.
Yes,
Hey,
like-
Spike. What are you gonna do, Spike? What are we gonna
If-
do?
How can I help? Can I help? Can I
If
help?
this
Can I help? Can I
tolerates
help?
Rosie, he's helping her. He's just kind of like
Oh,
he tolerates.
weird.
Ithis tolerates the small one.
Probably because he's never seen someone so happy before, and he's like genuinely curious as to how she does it.
Nice. All right, so those were some high-ass rolls.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
It could have been, not saying it is, could have been the bellbuck pipeweed. We never know. That may have been the tipping point. But you have a smooth 6-day journey to Adiaco with
Why? Roll
Uh,
3 dice.
Yeah, I know.
with no random encounters. The rooftops of Adiaco, as you head back into the valley, are basically as you left them 2 months ago, although a little brighter. There's a little bit more festivity in the air. You can see balloons and sort of banners and things like that set up.
I have a question.
Yeah.
About Caleb. Since he's wanted in Adiaco, are you using your hat of disguise?
Yep. Or my mask or whatever the heck it is. Or maybe it's a
It's
hat.
the hat.
I don't know. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
I mean, it's been like what, a month and a bit or whatever it was.
Mhm.
Been a long time. We're fine. But yeah, I'll disguise.
I don't have to be disguised because I wasn't a part of it. Yay!
You'll just question
Um,
it.
Rosie, like, why are you disguised?
What about the others? So if you remember when you left Adiaco the first time, the best description, the best illustration that was being passed around at the gates was that of Odin's butcher.
Yeah.
And it was a fairly good likeness of Caleb. The others were, so there was Dices, but they didn't really know how to draw Dragonborn very well. They couldn't get the physiology correct.
Yeah.
There was like just a big guy with a loincloth that could be any Goliath. And there was the bird, which kind of a little easier to pick out because there are so few of you. And Stephen the Magnificent.
Actually, I still have the.
I disguised as Steven leaving to get
Right.
past.
Oh, right. No, the illustration. Sorry, you're correct. The illustration was not Stephen the Magnificent. The illustration would have been Minchinos, and not a
Right.
very good one.
And as we approach the city, I will alter self again to do the Stephen the Magnificent.
Actually, speaking of the hat of disguise, I still have it attuned. So if you wanted it, you would have to ask me for it.
Sure.
Oh, this will be.
Well, why do you want it?
To look different.
I support that.
That seems reasonable to me.
Do we know that we were being chased by?
We knew
The
that we
guard?
had to get yeah, because that's why we disguised, and Dices and I pulled a scam at the
Yeah.
gate.
Yeah,
I was
that's
hidden.
right.
I was hidden in the back of the wagon and covered or something like that.
Dices,
I was like,
Dices,
your biggest
Dices was my
fan.
bimbo. Yeah, she was my bimbo fan.
I really liked him.
Okay. Oh, and there he goes again.
Oh,
Yep.
we lost.
All right. I suppose you can have the hat of disguise for now.
I don't want to fight any guards right now, and we because
On the way down to the mountain, did we stop by Snowberry? Snowberry's shack.
If you did, it was empty and
Okay.
destroyed.
Okay. Making sure.
wait, who's Snowberry again?
Strobar, the frost giant.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
right.
The make clothes.
Right.
I forgot to write him into my intro. Oh well.
That's probably good because he's dead.
Aww.
Oh,
Dead.
I'll take him off.
They didn't
Allies
like
and
it.
organizers.
It's all your
In
fault.
his hour of need, Navik was like, "Let's just keep going."
Don't look. Don't.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna drag the hat of disguise from Navik's attuned items into Caleb's attuned items.
And I guess we'll do a short rest before we go in, so I can attune to it.
I mean, you got 7 days to talk about this.
right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So yeah, you see that there's obviously some festivals happening in Adiaco, which is actually really not that unusual. It's basically every weekend is a festival in Adiaco, but there seems to be an increased presence, certainly around the outside of the city gates, almost as if there's like a circus or something in town. And as you get closer, you realize that they are not circus tents, they are military tents. And each of them is adorned with the sort of like arrowed shape T of Tyr.
Lovely.
Bum, bum, bum.
There is an army here.
Wow.
Why? I mean, that's what I'm going to try and investigate.
Just keep riding. Let's go on into the city. And I'll just start waving as Stephen the Magnificent.
I'm gonna wave too, just because that seems like fun.
All right. So there are checkpoints heading into the city. Do you want to just go through them, or do you want to sort of talk about alternative plans?
I'm curious as to what's going on with the Disciples of Tyr, as well as meeting up to see if was it Claudia still around?
Clementina.
Clementina, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb's never good with names.
Yeah, I did. In your Caleb folder, I do have a list of your followers there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have time on the outskirts if you wanted to. Like, you could send her a message and let her know that you're outside, or you could sort of stay on the outskirts and sort of carouse a little bit, gain some information. You could just head right in. You could even go around Adiaco completely if you wanted.
Well, if the party, I'll go with what the party is. I'll wait to see if we actually go through Adiaco, if we stop in for supplies, whatever.
We have to go into Adiaco to rent a boat, though.
Fair. And get supplies. We only had 7 days worth, right?
Right. So we need to resupply. We need to rent a boat.
Boat!
If anybody, you know what? Let's just ride on in. If anybody comes over, let me.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys get into a line. It's relatively fast moving. Who's driving the wagon?
Caleb in disguise, I would assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what you should look like? One of the generic merchants from Witcher with the round glasses and the weird wrappy hat thing, and they all look the same.
And I will be a halfling.
I'll pretend you're my brother Fern.
No, I can be your brother Belak.
It's not a plant, is it?
It's a laxative, actually. You don't want to eat that one. I'll give you the run.
I support this.
Yeah. This makes sense.
I totally endorse this.
It's canon now.
And
You're
I've sort of maneuvered the tank so it's kind of alongside but slightly ahead. And riding in that with the window open.
Did you eat some of the Belak?
Just cruising. Get some AC/DC blasting.
Yeah.
All right, so up front we have Belak.
You finally realize what it means?
And who's sitting next to? Anybody else on the front of the wagon? There's room for two.
I'll be up there.
My brother from another mother, Kevin.
Kevin, what up?
Hey.
What? I'm riding my horse.
Minchinos, you're in the tank, I assume?
Yep.
All right.
I'm riding my majestic steed.
So in the back of the wagon is Ithis, and that's it, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So the line is relatively quickly moving. You can see that there are certainly a large number of soldiers moving in and out. Caleb, one of the things that you spot are right at the gates, there are recruitment kiosks, essentially. And there's a line of probably about 30 or 40 young men and women, sort of, some of them, better dressed than others, some of them with just like bindles over their shoulder. They don't look like they've had a bath in weeks. But the offer on the recruitment sign is surprisingly generous. They're paying these people 50 gold pieces up front to sign up and enter into training, and are promising bi-weekly stipends of an additional 25 for as long as they're in the service. This is like 3 times what you got paid when you were a soldier.
Yeah.
And naturally, it is attracting a lot of people who are down on their luck and are looking for a way to make some money and feed their families.
Who are around us in this line?
Directly in front of you are basically looks like a troupe of performers of some kind. There are gnomes, a bunch of half elves. Behind you is just a wagon of doesn't look like much, like textiles or something for sale.
Okay.
Just like a little old man in the front of a wagon.
Is it obvious from that troop who's kind of the leader?
They seem pretty inexperienced to your eye.
Okay.
They're actually sort of rehearsing something from a play that you're aware of that, a lot of people start out doing this play. Yeah, you've seen it a million times.
God, it's our town.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try and catch at least somebody's attention.
Sure.
Just sort of say, oh man, this is different from the last time I was here. What the heck is going on with all these guys?
Are you referring to the soldiers or the
soldiers? Yeah. I'm
Okay.
talking to the troop saying, we've been gone for a couple of months and what the heck happened around here?
One of the half-elf guys kind of turns to you and just smiles and sort of gives you a wave and says, "It's nuts, right? Such a mess. This is a city of art, not war."
Seriously, last I left, there was the big theater festival going on, and now there's a whole bunch of soldiers here. Oh, wonder if how do they pay for entertainment?
Well, they pay quite well, and that's actually why we're here.
Cool. Yeah. Oh, great.
Yeah. You want to put on a show? They're paying 15 gold a night.
Wow, that's pretty good. Okay, I mean, I don't know if you've heard of me. I'm Stephen the Magnificent, and that's it's a little less than I usually make, but that's like if I'm playing the Bremwick Castle. For these guys, that's pretty good money.
Stephen the Magnificent. It's been a while since, I have to be honest, I can't really afford big shows.
No.
Have you played in any shitty taverns lately?
Oh, I've played them all. I mean, that's the way the business is, isn't it?
I guess so. Maybe I'm just too young. I haven't really seen
You'll get
very
there.
many cities. Yeah.
You'll get there. You'll cut your teeth, and it'll be
Pleasure to
fine. No
meet
problem. It's a pleasure to meet you too. Good luck with it. Break some legs.
He says yeah, I think we will. Just as somebody gets flipped in the air that he is clearly supposed to be catching.
God.
They just crumple into a heap.
It's a metaphor. Well, good luck.
You guys are as they kind of get through to the gates. Is there anything you want to do? You're next in line.
I think we're just basically staying on our disguises and our roles.
Yeah. If this has a hood on.
But you're in the back of the wagon anyway, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But
if we get covered, if we get searched.
if this is naturally paranoid as well.
Yeah.
So
That's fair.
Does the Hat of Disguise change your clothing and equipment as well?
It's the disguise spell,
Yeah.
so I believe so.
Disguise.
As we're riding through, I'm just going to be playing my ukulele.
Including your clothing, weapons, and other belongings. Okay. So they look different. So obviously, I'm assuming that you don't want your giant Eye of Odin mace
No.
to be on display.
That is
Could you imagine?
definitely stashed
I'm
away.
disguised. I
All right.
voted.
Is it on you and disguised, or is it just hidden in the cart?
It is. I will say that as I was doing the repairs and that for the wagon, there's a slot underneath the seat where I could store it.
Mhm. Okay, cool. And what about your holy symbol?
That I will keep on me, but underneath the clothing.
Okay.
As we approach too, one other thing I'm gonna get this. Can you pretend to be really sick if you have to be, like a really bad cold?
yes, of course.
Okay. So just follow my lead just in case and pretend to have a really bad cold.
That sounds like a
All right.
story that my mom made me pull when I was a kid when we were driving. If a cop ever pulls us over, pretend you really gotta pee. Okay. And that's how we got out of speeding tickets. Was like if we got pulled over, I'm like, we have to go. She's gonna pee or something. I'm like, I gotta pee. And that's
I turn to Caleb and go, "Do you understand what she's talking about?"
yeah. We
I
used to drive in
caught
our
a word
wagons with all
here
the kids. If we had to pee, it would
once,
stop
maybe.
the sheriffs from pulling us over. It made perfect sense.
Okay, sure.
Or barfing. Barfing's a good way to get them to let you go.
Halflings, man. Halflings.
There
Okay.
is a horse speed limit on the long road.
I don't think Sam's gonna have an issue on that one. But you never know. They could be quick when they need to be.
All right.
Legs they got one.
Okay, so the troop ahead of you are waved in. One of them is patted down, but are sort of kind of quickly ushered in. As you pull the wagon up to the line, they halt you. One of them sort of peeks around the corner and like waves Rosie and her pony around and says, "What's your business in Adiaco?" Addressing Caleb.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was addressing Rosie.
I'll step up out of the tank. Hello, I'm Stephen the Magnificent. This is my troop. Maybe you've heard of us. We were just playing in Adiaco a couple of months ago, in fact.
Stephen the Mag. What is this machine that you drive?
Oh, this is great. This is part of the act. And I'll turn around and I'll do a quick cast of animate object on it. It's like, this is part of the act, and I'll have it do a little dance and stand up on top of it.
As soon as you begin casting a spell, many of them like step back and like put their hands on weapons.
It's part of the act. It's part of the act, I swear. And I will have the thing, and I'll jump up on top of the tank.
That's great. Listen,
I'll play a little.
I do not hire. I'm just checking. You don't need to perform. Why does everyone want to perform for us? I don't understand.
Honestly, I get that question a lot, and this is the easiest way to prove that this is just part of the act.
All right, I believe you. It's
pretty cool, isn't it? And
Why
I'll
is
have it like click the claws like maracas.
Maracas.
Yeah,
it's very dented.
castanets. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Castanets. Yeah, we had a tough time actually. We had a little bit of a mishap, and I'm gonna try and get her fixed. But she's been through a lot with me. It'll be fine.
Good, fine. You're free to go in. You only. What about you? And he points to Dandelion, Rosie.
Can't
she's
you
part
tell
of
I'm
my
with
group.
him? And I
This
do a
is my
quick, like-
musician. This is my musician, Dandelion.
I do a riff from like Through the Fire and Flames, just on the ukulele.
All right,
Okay.
I'm impressed actually.
Fine. Go with your pony. You are clearly not a dancer. And he looks at Caleb.
He's the guy that manages my sets.
What do you?
He's
And the
That guy.
merchandise.
Oh, merchandise, yeah.
I mean, you
He
can't go
says-
anywhere without a, Stephen the Magnificent action figure.
Bobblehead.
Yep.
Show me one.
This
we
is
do
why we're
have.
coming back. This is
Yeah.
why we're coming back to Adiaco is to resupply. What
Oh,
was
so
it?
you're purchasing.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I have to resupply, fix up my baby here, and get some new merch. I gave the Bellbuck loves little dolls. The halflings love them.
It's true. I have 6 at home. It's ridiculous. And I work for this guy. Like, why?
Good. What about the big man?
Well,
Bodyguard,
it's a tough road.
of course.
It's a tough road that we travel. And he's come with us from the Leviathan.
You're a mercenary.
Yes, I'm the
The
bodyguard.
bouncer.
He is a man of few words.
What weapons do you carry into the city?
I show him my pack.
All
This
the
is actually-
javelins.
This is actually going to take a while. And is there anything that we can do to help speed some of this process up? We're not holding the folks up in the line behind us.
Yes, that's fine. I told you. You can go. You and the little one.
Well, this is my troop. These are all with me. I don't want to go with them. We've
We will
traveled
have
far
to
together.
search the wagon. Just give us
Okay.
2 minutes. It's fine.
Just to be clear, and I'm going to say this really loudly: be careful going in there. One of my troop, he's wearing his costume right now, he's got a really, really bad cold. And that's why he's in the wagon, so none of us catch it. So just be careful going in there. If you have like scarves or something to put over your face, it's a really, really bad cold.
It's not good for my singing voice. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
I can't
Oh
afford
my
a
God.
cold.
Yep. Absolutely.
I can't allow diseased people into the city walls.
It's not a
It's a
disease.
cold. It's
It's
a cold, but it's not good for entertainers.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not like it's not like the plague. He's just got a really bad cold.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Temple of Tears here, right? We can kind of, we're here to
Yeah.
help him there.
Yeah, we should
Cure
probably go-
whatever the heck he has.
That's a really good. I hadn't even thought of. Oh my!
If
This is
you
why I.
need
This is why I
medical
pay this
attention,
guy.
You will get it on the outside. There's no strange halfling diseases to be brought into the city walls.
Oh no, he's not a halfling. He's not a halfling. He's kind of a half elf wearing this bird costume so he doesn't get snot all over the wagon.
In the background, there is like two like clearly rookie soldiers going through Navik's bag, going,
I told you it was going to be a while.
The true entertainment right there.
I'm
is
watching
the guards.
them.
yeah, there's like the bloody longsword comes out. There's like a warhammer, the soccer trophy. There's a weird top
picturing
hat.
Mary Poppins bag right
Yeah.
now of stuff.
Just like a never-ending, like it's a magic trick of itself. And he's kind of like looking over and he's like, all right, let me just take one look in the wagon, we'll have you
Okay.
through.
By all means,
Just-
go right ahead. Okay.
Just don't get too close to the too close to the guy, because if he sneezes, it'll even come out the mask. So
Oh, it's
just-
so gross. Oh, but it's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Kaivan, come. This is your search. Gross. And
Thanks for
you
the
see
follow,
a
Wolf's
young,
Dad. I appreciate it.
clearly cleric of Boulder, come kind of shuffling out the side. Yes. Who may I see? Yeah. Back of the wagon. Yes. He comes kind of around the corner, as he does, Ithis, you see a young man of maybe 16 years old, bald, with a slight thin band around his head, and he looks into the back of the wagon. He goes, "Are you ill?"
Yes.
Oh dear. Have you received blessings in the last week or so?
Only when he sneezes.
I have not, which is why I come here with these. I wish to seek who's the god again?
Dear.
I wish to seek Tyr's blessings.
As do many. I cannot provide the blessings of Tyr, but of Balder, if you would. He seems nervous around you.
That's all right. Thank you.
Okay, well, I won't be able to let you in unless you are cured of the disease. You understand?
Oh, I see. All right. Very well, then you may. By the way, this is my costume. I'm actually a half elf. I haven't taken it off yet.
Make a deception check for me.
Nice. I'd already set that stage too.
Mhm.
He hasn't, so
Come on, roll.
You can do it, computer.
Oof.
He says, "Okay, I'm going to come into the wagon now." And he kind of climbs up in,
That's fine.
and he says, "Do you mind?" And he kind of reaches for your hand.
I reach out mine.
He puts his hand on yours and casts Lay on Hands, removing a disease. And as he's like holding your hand, he says, "You know, your kind is welcome in this city. We bear you no ill will. I understand there are places where you are not wanted, but
I am sorry. I am naturally paranoid. It is the way I was brought up.
I understand."
My people are not kind to their own kin, let alone outsiders, and so that is why. That's why I kind of I apologize. I should have.
It's
I'm
quite
not
alright.
u- I'm
Your
not
secret
used
is
to
safe
this.
with me.
Thank you. I am not used to this sort of travel.
If you need any assistance while you are in the city, my name is Ferhan.
Thank
You
you.
can ask for me. I will help you.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And he kind of does just like a cursory glance around the wagon. He doesn't actually like really look at anything, and he goes and he kind of nods and climbs out of the back, goes back to the other guy, and he's like, he is cured. He is fine. All right,
Perfect. Thank you so much.
come on, get through. Next.
You know what? Come to our show. You got a comp ticket, both of you. Come check us out.
I've been invited to a great many shows. I will consider it.
Well, for curing my buddy back here, you get the VIP treatment. Just check out Steven the Magnificent. Come on, guys.
All right, so the gates, or not the gates, but rather the guard ahead of you kind of part, and you can enter into the lovely canaled city of Adiaco once again. And I think, do you want to take like a 5-minute break here?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, I'm just gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
Emergency poo.
Yeah, I'm gonna refill.
I would need to take like a much longer break for that.
That's why it's an emergency.
Let me get you some mountain milk.
Oh,
Ooh, mountain. It'll cleanse.
Nothing triggers a landslide.
we'll be
Quite
right
like
back.
mountain milk.
boom, 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 boom.
As we go live with that, good job.
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh,
Well, hello.
hi there.
We've just been doing that for 6 minutes.
It's
Yeah,
true.
apparently.
And that's why everyone's drinking now. So I've been doing it for 6 minutes.
Nobody noticed that I went and refilled my scotch, so it's fine. I mean,
It just
my iced tea.
It magically
tea,
grows.
Twitch.
It's it magically grows.
Magically grow.
So you have made it through the gates, and learned a little bit about what's happening here. You know that there are recruitment drives happening here, but the actual Inquisition presence seems a little bit lax, at least in Adiaco. They're certainly not shaking people down or anything like that. At least that's how it feels entering. When you get in, you do note that there are a significant amount of armed inquisitors bearing the crest of Tyr in the city, coupled with and usually followed by priests of Balder. As you know, when you were last here, you discovered that what would have been an ally of Odin at one point, prior to that god's slaying, Balder, the son of Odin, and the god of beauty and poetry, has been compromised. You know that the great father of that order within the city of Adiaco has been sort of compromised by this veil of deceit that Tyr has managed to spread throughout the world.
Yeah, was it this Disciple Reeve I know about?
Yeah, that's a name that you have heard of, yes.
Okay.
Disciple Reeve was sort of operating this chapter of the Inquisition. But you know that they are sort of just like, as far as ecclesiastical militaries go, he's sort of like a middle manager.
Okay.
So, just as a note, my alter self lasts an hour, and I'm going to try and keep track of the time and maybe step into the wagon or something and recast it out of sight just to maintain it for a little while
Sure.
if we get to that point. And
Sounds
are still in public.
So, you, if you recall, the city of Muses, Adiaco, is sort of it's a canal city, not unlike Venice, but with it's sort of set up much in the way that a theater hall is. So, the main promenade of the city is known as the mezzanine, and then as you move your way towards center stage, that's where you start to get towards the more affluent and governmental buildings and things like that. Clementina Caivano, who was a member of the Order of Balder, and had been playing the role that they're happy with Tyr's presence here. For as much as you know from the last you talked with her, Caleb, which was in her home in the pit, which is sort of like it's where all starving artists basically end up when they first come to Adiaco. You do remember where that place is, but again, you haven't spoken to her in over a month and a half. There are also, you've been to the leading lady.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did he see the bear in the cart?
You have the bear with you?
I thought we had the bear,
We
didn't we?
brought the bear with us.
Yeah,
Oh.
Rewind.
that's part of the act. It's all part of the truth.
Dancing bear. Poorly trained dancing bear.
Yeah, we're training it.
I mean,
That can't be on. That can't be on. Not, it's got to be semi-common in a place like this.
Yeah, I think that
Animal
like
acts.
weird animal act is probably certainly at the leading lady.
Weird
I don't know
animal
why I want to talk
acts.
about that.
Which reminds me, Rosie, we're definitely going there.
There was also you went to the understudy, which was sort of like a medium-sized wine house that had some rooms for rent there. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you guys stayed there the following nights because the leading
Yeah.
lady is
It's pretty
expensive.
pricey.
Yeah.
And we were just exhausted from spending the night there.
Yeah.
And the last place that you didn't end up going to was the Fourth Wall, which was basically like a slam poetry bar.
I'm gonna say, is it full of comic books?
Yeah.
The poker playing guys there were talking about it. I think they were
That's
had
right.
something to do with that.
Yeah, and those were the ones that ratted you out. So you have a city available to you. What would you like to do? You're sort of moving your way down the cobbled streets of the mezzanine, passing shops, and there's buskers like everywhere, juggling fire and singing and putting on musical shows and things like that.
I am also keeping a watchful eye out for what the heck's his name? Can never remember this guy's name.
Ippolito?
Ippolito Vicario. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's about mid-afternoon. Is there anything? I'm just going to go down the list here. Is there anything Minchinos would like to do at the moment?
Like I said, keeping an eye out for Ippolito. Totally talking up the leading lady, DeRosie, because I feel I am obliged to corrupt her.
But as innocent as they come.
I know. But really, that's kind of it. Just sort of going
Okay.
along with the group right now.
Sure. What about Caleb?
I want to investigate why the increase in tier forces and check up on Clementina.
In that order?
Probably Clementina first.
Okay. So are you basically beelining it straight for the pit?
I mean, as evasive as I could be.
Yeah, you're keeping a low profile, but
Yeah.
basically you're. Are you planning on taking the wagon with you the whole way?
No, I will break off from the wagon.
Okay, so you'll like stow the wagon at the stables and.
Or keep it with the group, depending what we're doing.
Yep. What's Rosie up to?
I'm with Minchinos and just pure like full tourist going, what's that? Can we go over there? Ooh, ooh, ooh. We have to go see what that is. That's really cool. And I'm just gonna be like really annoyed.
Yeah, this is basically the city of bards.
Yeah.
So this.
And I'm nerding out so bad.
Yeah.
Hardcore freaking out, going, oh, look at that. Oh my god, there's a place where they just tune up bagpipes. We gotta check that place out.
We'll get there. Don't worry.
uh,
We won't
Navik.
get there. We won't get there.
We won't. We're not going there.
We need Ron Howard's voice. They didn't go there.
Yeah, pretty much. They never went.
Well, not much to do in Adioko for Navik, so I guess I'll just stick with the group. Maybe follow Caleb if I see him going off.
Yeah, I'll mention it to you just so I can have some protection.
You know, can we as the with Caleb's leaving and we're just sort of wandering, is it convenient to casually go by where Ippolito's shop was and see if it's still there?
Certainly. Yeah. Yeah, it's on the mezzanine, so
Yeah.
You'll likely
I
pass.
don't
it
want to go
on your
there.
way.
But you found so many good things from there.
I don't know he's going
Oh,
there.
yeah, fair.
So
Right.
I'm
Right.
going with Caleb.
So assuming you stable the horses and are
Mhm.
on foot through the city.
Yeah,
You
no,
can
stable the
break
horses,
off.
the
Yeah.
tank and everything's all put away.
Okay.
Are we stabling the horses at the inn that we're going to stay at? The regular inn?
Sure, I guess. Yeah, that's fine.
I
The middle one.
Navik, can you give me a perception check?
Come on, Trapper.
21.
Yeah.
Nice. So you see it just before it happens. You have an opportunity to intervene if you would like. Tulip has sprinted off suddenly, and is about to take a bite out of a mime, who is like holding.
I can't really fault him for that. I feel like not really.
It's
doing
like in the
anything bad.
middle of the mezzanine. There is a mime putting on a show, and Tulip is just bolting. And you're
I
pretty
would
sure.
bite it too.
You're
I'd
pretty
bite the
sure
mime.
it's because they have a red patch on their butt that is different than the rest of their black outfit.
Yeah, I'll pick him up and like bear hug him.
Oh,
All right, you're gonna grapple Tulip.
you're gonna
Yeah.
grapple the bear.
All right, give me an athletics check.
Oh gosh, hope you
I
fail
am
that.
I am really stuck on this moral quandary here myself.
Yeah, and I'm lawful good, and I'm like
Ooh.
I would bite a mime too.
She can actually do that.
She could.
Yeah, go Tulip, go.
Oh! Wiggle, wiggle free.
Yeah.
And
So
here I thought this was going to be a boring trip.
so Tulip sees this red patch on this mime's ass and just starts scampering off. And again, Tulip is a vegetarian, so she's again pretty lanky for a bear her size. She's like adolescent still, but she's gonna
No,
be a thin bear.
Tulip. No, Tulip, stop.
Still, she's just
No,
like
stop.
barreling down the cobblestone street. You run and you grab a hold of one of her legs, but it's like there's so much loose skin on her legs that she just slips right out.
hell?
And yeah, she just like takes a chomp out of this mime's butt, and the mime just
Oh.
screams.
He broke character.
Yeah, and like falls over.
Rose
The
is like,
scream scares the fuck out of Tulip, and she basically turns right back around with a patch of cloth hanging out of her mouth and comes beelining back to Navik.
oh my.
I face palm.
There's like a big commotion in the middle of the square now, and the mime is like clearly overreacting. She didn't get like flesh or anything like that, but he's playing it up like she did.
Can I go in and cast calm emotions
Yeah, absolutely.
on him and the crowd? Be like, it's a baby bear, and let's be truthful here. None of us likes a mime. No offense.
Yeah. So if you're gonna calm emotions, you're gonna do it on the mime.
Yeah.
Do they get a save?
Let's hold on. Let's check. I've never used it before.
Charisma saving throw.
Rosie could never mime her own business.
Ha 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 ha. It's true.
You lose your inspiration.
Yeah.
I have inspiration?
Well, you don't know.
No.
Sucker.
I don't have it, so it doesn't matter.
So it's each humanoid in a 20-foot radius sphere, centered on a point you choose, and everybody feels chill.
Yeah. So this is the roll for the mime.
Okay.
What's your DC?
14.
Wow. That's a Caleb roll if I've ever seen one.
That's impressive.
That's really good. I'm.
No wonder he's a mime.
Yeah. This is a lot about his life choices right there.
So the mime immediately realizes what's occurred, and they see that the bear means no threat, and kind of like gets back up and is like looking at their pants, and then they just sort of turn it into a shtick, like as though the bear were part of this whole thing.
Yeah.
And the crowd start cheering, and they're calling for the bear.
Nice.
Tulip is hiding behind Navik's leg.
Aw.
There's too much noise here.
Yeah, I'll pick her up.
Would the calm emotion have hit Tulip as well? Because it's a radius.
That's a good question, actually. Yeah, let's give.
24.
Yep.
Wow.
Wow.
DM rolls are key today.
Double one.
Yep.
Between mimes and vegetarian bears, I got your ones.
Except when it comes to Navik grappling bears.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there's this sweet moment where suddenly the terrified bear and the overdramatic mime, they look at each other and they know.
They know.
They know. This was all just a big misunderstanding.
And
They're both-
everybody's friends.
They're both calm again. Scene averted.
Well, my job here is done.
So, Manchinos, you see Vicario's magic shop.
Mhm.
It is open. Doesn't appear to be
Open.
anyone inside, or like no customers at the very least.
All right, I'm still in my Stephen the Magnificent guise. I'm just gonna sort of walk up and like I'm window shopping and peer inside.
Yeah, you can see a man in the back who is not Apolito. A
It's
little
like
bit
his-
shorter.
Is his brother or something like that actually owns
Yeah,
this?
he did mention that his brother owned the shop. Yeah,
Okay.
and he seems to be just busying himself in the back of the
Okay.
shop.
All right, I'll just keep moving along.
Okay. Caleb, you are moving towards the pit.
Yes.
So as soon as you sort of dip down,
I'm going along with him.
yeah, and you've got Tulip with you, presumably.
I guess so.
Tulip's going to be following you.
Tulip is
Yeah.
calm now, at least.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yep.
Very chill bear.
Yeah, she
Right.
keeps
Up
you
to
keep
1
having
minute.
to catch her from like going after things that look like flowers and things that
Aw.
are flowers. She is trying to eat them, every single one of them.
I turned to Navik. I'm like, I guess over this last week we should have made some kind of leash.
We should
Yeah,
have.
you think in a week you would have made something like a harness.
It's too late now.
In the pit, first of all, the sound of the sort of jubilation and celebration above on the streets of the mezzanine are dimmed and muted down here. And down here, it paints a very different picture of life in this city. There's very little color. It is wet and damp down here. It stinks. There's garbage in the streets. There are homeless people everywhere, panhandling. There are still buskers here, but there are very clearly, acts that are asked politely to not be on the mezzanine. Where people will see them. And you're heading straight to Clementina's little shack.
Yes.
Okay, you find her door in the place that you remember sort of as you basically escaped from pursuit last time and
Yeah.
ducked into her place. Do you knock or do you just open the door?
I'll knock.
So you knock on the door and there's it's such a thin piece of like sheet metal or plywood or something like that. It's barely a door. And it kind of rattles as your big dwarven fist kind of hits on it. And there's just quiet.
I will slowly open.
You push the door open. It wasn't locked. You're not even sure this door could lock if it wanted to. And it just sort of swings open to a dusty room with like tattered chairs and things like that to the sides. There's a single candle flickering in the background on like a wash basin of some kind. Can you make me a dexterity save?
Sure.
Sorry.
That's where I'm a Viking.
I love Caleb deck saves.
There is a flash of movement, and in a second, you find yourself in a chokehold with a blade against your throat. And you hear the feminine voice of Clementina say, "What the fuck are you doing here?"
Oh, she said naughty word.
Like, did
We're
you
not there. We can't.
I
Yeah.
know.
I'm
Like-
just watching this.
Did you not get my message?
Who are you, old man?
Who do you think I am? How would I know to come find you?
She presses the knife a little closer into your neck. She's like, "Talk sense."
I do the cough too.
Yeah.
So she actually,
It's like one eye kind of shoots off to the doorway and sees Navik. And you see like the puzzle pieces are starting to align a little bit.
I'm like calm as all hell. I don't care
Yeah.
if the knife is against me.
She's like, "Is this a ruse?"
No. If I came looking like myself, there'd be a lot more trouble.
Caleb.
Exactly.
The blade kind of comes back away and she like turns you around and she like puts her hand through the illusion, like finds beard.
well,
And you-
technically, her knife would be under the beard or in front of the beard.
If I was a halfling, the knife would probably be around my like chest.
That's probably true, yeah. And they have to they have to be like willfully sort of investigating as well for the illusion to fall.
Yeah.
But as soon as that those things sort of click into place, she goes, "Right, of course you do." And she like visibly relaxes. She's like, "Get in here. Come on.
Yeah, we'll go in. Close the door.
God, he sticks out like a sore thumb."
I ring the bear.
she's
Jeez, Tulip,
she's sitting there. She's just like, You're the
Jeez,
bear.
Tulip, you're standing out. Too
I know,
much.
eh? I'm sure the
I
disciples of
bend down to
Tyr
get in.
are not really paying attention to the Goliath, especially the one that looks so plain as Navik.
she's like, how did you get into the city? I hear that they've got like,
I have powerful friends.
I suppose you do. You did kill 3 of them.
Rosie.
Well, I'm glad to see you. It has been a trying month and a half.
I see. Yes, things have gotten a lot more aggressive, it seems.
Oh yes, the recruitment drives have begun. You'll be happy to know.
What exactly are they recruiting for?
Honestly, it doesn't matter. At least not to the people signing up. Have you seen the dollars that they're
Oh,
throwing around?
Yes,
Money?
fair enough.
It's ridiculous. I don't know where they're getting it, first of all. I suspect they must have profited off of the Slot invasion in some way.
In some way. I mean, if they're big in Bremwick, as far as what I hear, possibly.
Oh, yes. And they've been spreading out. As far as I understand, they've hit just about every small township near Bremwick.
Means we need to work sooner rather than later.
Well, I can't stay here. As every time I find somebody who has resisted the effects of the veil, I'm one step behind every single time.
Yeah.
They just disappear. I have managed to track down about 6 people, but I have sent them out of the city as soon as I find them.
Where have you sent them to?
I didn't know where. I've sent them to Baumgarten. As far as I understand, they haven't allowed the Inquisition entry there yet. But they're awaiting my contact.
Okay. We are actually heading up to Bremwick.
To Bremwick. I
Bremwick.
would not go to Bremwick. I'm telling you, do not go to Bremwick. It is a stronghold. It is theirs. As far as I understand, the council, the interim council of governance, has been completely infiltrated by them. It is
wonderful.
their city.
Out with one frog-based people and in with a new one. Unfortunately, it's a route that my group has chosen to go. I will lay low depending on what I see when I get to Bremwick, but I would suggest, as my message, I guess my message never got to you, but head to Ramodna if you can. Contact, yes, that's probably where we will set up our base of operations.
That's going to be quite the journey. We can't take the long road from Bremwick to Foxrun anymore. It's completely owned by the Inquisition.
Fair enough.
We could cut through the wilderness, but there are obviously risks involved there as well. It's slower and more dangerous. There are bandits. There are monsters. Honestly, it might be safer that way.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, we're heading up to Foxrun.
I understand you are collectively a very powerful force, but you are 5 people?
Well,
Can you defeat an army?
I mean, we defeated one.
I guess that's true. It doesn't give me much confidence, but if you must go through Bremwick, then I can't stop you. But
The thing is, we won't be stopping the army going through Bremwick. We will be going by Bremwick. Stopping the army will take a lot more than us. That's definitely true. Especially with how fast they're spreading and how quickly they are recruiting.
I'll also tell you your disguise here, that won't fly in Bremwick.
Fair enough. I'll work on something on the way. We easily a almost 2-week trek there, so.
Very well.
Whatever you can do, whatever you need, let me know in terms of getting to Ramodna. If you need me to contact those in, what was it, Baumgreen? I can do that unless you already have a way.
Baumgarten, yeah.
Baumgarten, that's it.
Yeah. I can, if I have the funds, I can get passage. There are already people trying to escape under the nose of the Inquisition. I hear many of them are heading east, but I don't wish to live in a swamp.
Side note. Did she say that she was going by Foxrun to Ramodna, or going through the forest?
She was suggesting cutting
forest.
through the forest, so like going basically. Where's my little?
Kendrick Hill?
Yeah, basically going to Quartier du Vin and then basically coming up like that.
Oh, okay.
That'd be an interesting trek.
That would be.
It would be a long trek and high risk of encounters, but if they have the money for instance, a retinue of guards and things like that, they could presumably make it.
Well, did she say that there was a passage from Foxrun through the mountain, or?
None that she knows of.
No, she mentioned that going from Bremwick to Foxrun is overrun with.
Yeah, the road from Bremwick to Foxrun is basically 100% patrolled.
Well, Well, we're going to Addersfield after Fox Run. Do you want maybe she could join us as well?
I mean, I'd rather her make it to Ramona if possible, but yeah, she could. Would
Well,
there be a way for
we
her to
can-
send me a message if she ran into troubles to meet up in Addersfield?
Yeah,
I-
if she had like for instance, you bought Mitchell Huntley a scroll of sending.
I can probably do
You
the
could
same
do
thing
something similar for her.
well, I just
current-
mean from Addersfield we can split off to. We would go to Giddens Forts, and she would go to Fort, then the Ramona.
So you're
To
saying
the
for her to
north.
travel with us to there?
Yeah.
Oh.
She could
Uh,
travel with us to Addersfield. Then
I mean, we're going into like the lair of the dragon, going to Brumwick. So I mean,
yeah,
whether she
that's
wants to
why-
come with us or not is another question. I will ask if she would rather stick with us until we get past Brumwick, or if you.
I was not subtle at all, and I said that whole thing.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
She's like, I would have to pick up the other 6 men and women that I've sent to Baumgarten. I don't know that we'd be better served as a bigger group.
Probably not. It'd be a lot more suspicious. And I know, again, my friends can help persuade those that we are something that we are not. Well, most of us, anyways.
There are Fox Run and Kendrick Hill are important to the Inquisition because Fox Run is right on the forest. They are a major lumber town. Kendrick Hill is a major mine town. They are claiming the resources there, but they are just under guard. They are not threatened like cities are because, well, they're in it to destroy the last followers of Odin. It's unlikely that they'll be found in a forest or a mine. Or so they think. That's why I was thinking if we get to Baumgarten, we might be able to make it through Kendrick Hill and then north to Addersfield.
Well, you're welcome to join us until Baumgarten, and then we can split off from there.
That sounds good.
And if you need any more resources or money to help, let me know.
Well, we can supply for the next legs of our trip either here or in Baumgarten. We can take a boat to Baumgarten, or we can take the road.
We'll probably be taking a boat to Baumgarten.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'd be happy to come with you, at least to there.
Sure. Again, pack your stuff, finish any last tasks you have to do, and meet us at the docks, I guess.
She walks to the back of the room and takes the single candle that's been flickering. She blows it out, puts it in her bag, and she says, "I'm ready."
I look around the room to see if there's anything else.
It's like literally just half fallen apart furniture. You get the sense that this is more of a safe house than a living house.
Yeah, fair. Okay, I guess we'll then head out and head back to the rest of the group, depending where they are.
So Minchinos was moseying past Vicario's magic shop, and then were you bringing Rosie to the leading lady?
Absolutely.
All right. I guess at this point it's probably early evening.
Mhm.
Is at least for Caleb, is your intent to get out of the city tonight, or?
It would depend on how. So the gates coming in and out by foot are well guarded and well searched, but how are the docks? Like I would probably scope that out as well.
Yeah, so you can see there is still quite a lot of trade that is coming in and out of the docks. and there is definitely a presence of the Inquisition there. Mostly, it seems related to like inspection of goods and things like that, inbound but not outbound.
Okay.
The other thing you'll note is that there are a number of clearly merchant vessels that are flying the Inquisition colors and crests. And you get the sense that the Inquisition is actually purchasing merchant ships for use in sort of a makeshift naval presence in these waters.
Okay. So yeah, so my thought would be to ship out in the late evening, kind of under the cover of darkness. But I'll have to bring that up with the group.
Yeah. So Rosie, you are led by Minchinos to the ostentatiously appointed leading lady.
Oh, really?
In the mezzanine district.
I've been talking it up the whole time, how they cater to your every whim,
Oh, yeah, okay.
all 9 yards, and just sort of...
It's a well-respected inn.
It's one of the nicest inns here.
Yeah.
Full service.
Everyone who comes out in a ridiculous hat and a equally ridiculous grin.
You think you'd let me perform there? That's usually how I usually do room and board when I used to do the small circuit around town.
You know what though? No. DM, remind me. I did not make a note of this on cost us. It was like 150 gold or something, wasn't it?
It is 25 gold per night and 25 gold per companion.
Got it. That's what it was. Okay, so it was like 50 gold.
Trust me, dice is spent a bit.
Oh yeah, no, I think I ended up spending 150 gold.
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rosie.
So no, this is a little different, and you know what? I got it covered for the moment because
Really? You're such a good friend.
We're traveling, and I just want you to experience instead of having to work.
And he doesn't have all our gold.
I have a fair amount of.
Yes, of the party gold.
I don't know what you're talking about.
None of my
I was
gold
just some gold
currently.
there.
He has none of my gold.
My pocket, my gold.
Pretty much, eh?
Yeah, that's how it works.
All right, so yeah, you're heading in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited.
If this had been with us, I am fairly certain that even if Victor had finished rebooting, he would not go in and find a place to perch or go back to the other end.
I should mention that one of the things that you may not take notice of as Minchinos, but Ithis may take note of, is that the person opening the door at the moment and inviting people in is Sarka Karkola, who was the brilliantly emerald green Aarakocra, who basically identified him as a seeker, in her words.
Right.
And suggested to him that...
he's back.
Is he back?
Is he?
From outer space.
Ithis, can you hear me? Maybe not.
He's not here, man.
But yeah, that is who is answering the door.
Am I alive?
Yes,
we hear you.
I'm alive.
Hooray!
He lives.
So we found your green bird friend. Ithis.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
At the leading lady.
Oh yeah, that's where I met her the first.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, that is a good scene to end on. In fact, as you guys approach the front of the leading lady, the brilliant green feathers of Sarka Karkola swings open the front door to invite you, and her eyes lock onto Ithis, and she kind of stumbles through her script a little bit, and she says, "Seeker, you found the quill." and she is transfixed on the quill of Avali that is attached to your back. And that is where we'll call it for this week.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun, dun, dun.
I get to play with hookers. But I don't know that yet.
They're
Oh,
not
my
hookers, they're
goodness.
companions.
Oh,
Hold
sorry.
on.
Yeah, this is not the other campaign.
It's like
Do I-
Firefly, not like.
I want to
Every
see
other
if I notice. I want to see if I notice this interchange with Ithis. Oh, I do. Okay, because I
Oh,
was
yeah,
talking
'cause-
it up with Rosie, and
yeah.
I want to make sure that I catch at least that bit of the conversation.
I'm assuming Rosie's completely oblivious to everything at this moment. She's just going, "Ooh, I get to go somewhere new. I'm so excited."
I am a terrible, terrible person.
You are
Tell me.
poor innocent Rosie.
First night out of home.
Yeah, first night at
Well,
home, and you're
eighth
taking
night.
Well,
Really?
8th night, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
First destination out of home.
first new town, and you take her straight to the hookers. Sorry.
Companions.
Jeez.
Poor Rosie. Poor law.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us again tonight. We will pick up where we left off next week. Hopefully Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern again. I will post on Twitter and Facebook if anything changes. Thanks again. Thank you for watching. Thanks for the follows, and see you next week.